ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste. Self-mastery is the greatest victory. I want to be a master of myself. Now, tool is a tool. How you can use it is the most important thing. See, money is a tool. You can use it. But once you make the money as a master and you are a slave, similarly, see, we have got a lot of, the tools through the five senses. Seeing, hearing, touching, all the other things. Now, whether you are a master of all these five senses or the five senses are being covered by you. Now the question is you have to understand. See, senses are to be used. Now you must be a master. Now for that, now we have to have a kind of a mastery over your senses. See, sometimes the tongue asks for certain thing. It is not good. But I must say no. This is what we call a kind of a tapas for you to understand. That means self-denial. It is a kind of a self-discipline. The willful denial of the demands of the senses. Let me repeat once again. Willful denial of the demands of the senses. So this is what we call about this tapas. That means I need a self-mastery. So I don't want to be a slave. So I don't want to make my senses to be a master. So with that, we want to have this particular sloka. Now Lord Krishna, he understands the problem of the samsari like Arjuna and ourselves. Now he is giving a kind of an advice. How you can really have a tapas. On this particular context, they say, walk tapas. When you talk about the walk tapas, say Lord Krishna advising or teaching Arjuna. So you must have a walk tapas. So let us listen to this sloka.
Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate. Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat swadhyayabhyasanam chaiva vangmayam tapa uchyate.
Anudvegakaram vakyam satyam priyahitam cha swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva vakmayam tapa uchyate. Here the most important thing, walk tapas. That is the speech of the austerity. So let us go into the word-to-word meaning. Anudvegakaram. So when he said that Anudvegakaram, you should not cause, hurt to anybody. In other words, ahimsa. So most important thing, when you are talking to some people, you should not hurt. Now, there should not be a kind of a verbal violence. You must always make sure whenever I am talking to anybody, That means I must make sure that the other person is not hurt. That is one. Say vakyam. When you say vakyam, is the kind of speech. So then satyam. Then you must also have a kind of the truthfulness. So you must be truth. So we are going to discuss about this. And also the priyam. Priyam means in the case of pleasant. And also hitam is a kind of a beneficial. And the swadhyaya abhyasanam. That means reading the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures. And all this, the four qualities, we call it as a kind of a tapas. That is a walk tapas. That is the austerity. So this has been declared by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So let us go into the running meaning. That is when I say vakyam. See, vakyam is a kind of a speech. Whatever you are talking to people, okay, you have to follow this particular principle. This is what you call the vakyam. Then we have a tapas, the kind of the austerity. So, what are the conditions? There is yad anudvekagaram, that which is not hurtful. There should not be a kind of a verbal violence. It should be very good communication. So the most important thing is, you must have a kind of ahimsa when you are talking to people. It is not only a question of, your words. When you are talking to some people, so you must always feel that you should not hurt. So that means, I don't want to be hurt. So I should not hurt anybody. That is one. When you say anudvekagaram, which should not be hurtful. There should not be kind of the verbal violence. And also satyam. See, all of us know about satyam. This is which is truthful. See, now when I say satyam, that means my thoughts, my words, and the action or the speech must be in the same, alignment. A kind of a harmony. Suppose I think something and talk something totally different. See, that's not a satyam. So that is why our motto of our nation, Satyameva Jayate. Satyameva Jayate. That means we have to understand, yes, whatever I am telling, that means it is a truthful. That means there should not be a kind of a gap. What I know, what I am talking, there should not be any gap. Just think. See, initially you may say that is not possible. It is possible. You need a lot of practice. That means what I know, what I am talking must be the same. This is one of the best definition on the Satyam. Then you must also have Priyam. That means you must be very, very lovingly talking. You must be very kind. Priyam. Hita means, it's a beneficial. Beneficial for the person who is communicating and also a person who is listening. And Swadhyaya Abhyasanam. That means the regular study of the scriptures. In this particular case, they say about like a Veda or a Bhagavad Gita. The regular study of the scriptures. Vangmayam Tapaha. That means said to be the verbal austerity. That means a kind of self-discipline. Now, it's very, very useful for all of us. Not only for the person who is communicating, but a man who is listening also. Now, let us see the essence of the meeting. That speech, which is not hurtful, that means there is no verbal violence. There is an absolute ahimsa. That is one. Then, which is truthful. That means what I know, what I am talking is in same harmony. Then it must be very pleasant. That means the way in which you are able to talking to people, the other person will be willing to listen to you. This is called a very pleasant. So there is no question of the hierarchy. That means whether I am talking to my subordinates or a superior. So there is no question of the difference. only thing is you must be very pleasant. Then also must be beneficial. That means the hitam. And you must also keep on studying the scriptures. This is what you call the verbal austerity. That is what you call Vangmayam, tapas. Okay, this is the essence of this particular one. Let me explain to you. The most important thing is about what way I will be able to build up a kind of a rapport and relationship with other people. So after all, see, between the animal and the human being, there are two things. The one is, the buddhi, that is the intellect. The other one is a speech. So now, both are equally important. So I must think, I must also talk. So we have got the greatest, the blessing. Now you must use it properly. Now the tool is very good. I keep on giving this example of the knife. You can stab a person and save a person or nourish the person. Now you have to understand this particular one. Yes, I have been given the blessing of communicating with the people. Now I must also be benefited and you also must be benefited. This is the most important aspect of this particular sloka. Anudvekikaram vakyam. That means I will not hurt. Satyam, truthful. Then prayam will be very lovingly and will be kind. Hitam must be beneficial. That is a pleasant and beneficial. See, all these four things are equally important. Now, unless otherwise you are able to practice. See, maybe it is not possible initially. You may reject immediately right now. Oh God, easy to talk, easy to listen, but it's not possible. Yes, it is possible. It is, you have to understand, you must have the conviction. Yes, it is possible. Now what is that? Repeat again. Anudvekagaram. That means I should not hurt. I must follow the ahimsa. Then Satyam. What I am thinking and what I am talking must be the same. Then Priyam will be very pleasant, not rude. Will be very, very pleasant and beneficial. If you have all these four, when you are talking to someone, that means you have this kind of all these four ingredients. You will be happy. Forget about the other person. It will be a byproduct. No, for you to be happy, that means you have this tapas. What is the tapas? Self-discipline. What self-discipline? Vakyam, that is a speech, the austerity. Now, there is a beautiful Vedic statement. Ekam sat, vipra bhagavad vadanti. The meaning of that is, Ekam sat, the truth is only one. Then vipra, the learned people or the wise people, Bahuda, they do it in a different way. Similarly, I would like to explain to you that, okay, it is not only Bhagavad Gita, in so many areas also. Now, there is a beautiful Tirukkural in Tamil. I just want to recall this particular one, brilliant. Maybe I learned it at the age of 11 or 12. But it's very powerful. Now, when I said, Tiyinal Puttasun Ullarum Arade Tavinal Sutta Vadu. It's a beautiful. When I say Pun, it's a kind of the wound. Then Vadu is a kind of a scar. Now, what is the meaning of this particular one? A wound caused by a fire will heal inside. When you touch the fire, so it produces a kind of a discomfort, a kind of a wound. But it will be completely healed. But whereas, if someone tells you something very bad, but unfortunately, it will never be healed. So the question is, the tongue is a beautiful tool. Whether you can help them or wound them, the choice is yours. When you say the wound caused by the fire will heal inside. See, after some time, you forget. Just imagine, whatever you went through the kind of physical damage, that means you don't remember. But somebody told you something about it, even about 30 years back, you will remember. So this is the problem of a human nature. Now you have to understand. Okay. The other one, the same thing, Socrates, he said, triple filter test. That means first thing you have to ask, is it the truth? It is true. Number one. So if it is true, don't talk. Then you find out, okay, it is true, but it is good. Then you can go ahead. Then you go to the second filter. Is it going to be useful? Then if it is not useful, then don't even talk. That means triple filter. Is it true? Yes, go ahead. If it is not truth, then don't talk. The second filter, that means saying it is good. It is good for me and good for you. Then if it is not good, then drop it. Don't talk. The next thing is it useful? That means, is it useful for you or me? If it is good, then you talk. Now, it's a very powerful one. It's the same thing like Bhagavad Gita. That means, okay, if it is true, go ahead. If it is good, go ahead. And if it is useful, then go ahead. Now, just imagine, lot of things can be really avoided if you are able to have this kind of a filter. Rotary is a service organization. So we have it as a 4-way test. And what the Lord Krishna told, so many thousands of years. Now we are talking about this particular one. See, is it the truth? Satyam. Is it fair to all concerned? That means a hitam. Then will it build goodwill and better friendship? So it is a kind of the priyam. That means are you going to get a relationship? And will it be beneficial for all concerned? It's not only for me, for all other people. This is called a 4-way test. This is what I told you, Ekam Sat, Vipra, Bhuda Vadanti. See, the truth is same, Ekam. Now, I wanted to think about it and reflect. See, tongue is one of the sense organs which says it can talk and also taste. Now, in both the way, you must have a tapas. If you are only eating for the taste, it may be not good for your health. That means so you have to understand the purpose of the tongue. That is one. And similarly, when you talk about this tapas, that means you are the tool. What is that? One is, the tasting and also talking. Now look at this. It's a beautiful, I like this. The tongue has no bones. Alright? Just think, the tongue has no bones. But it is strong enough to break a heart. So, you have to be very, very, very careful with your words and speech. So, you can kill a person without blood. If you want to kill a person, you just use your words, your speech. You can kill. I know a lot of people, just because of small little words, they commit suicide. Now, what you have to understand this particular context is, yes, it's a blessing for me. So let me use it properly. So what the Lord Krishna says, they say, Ahimsa, Satyam, Priyam, Hitam. Not hurting, and the truth, and also the pleasant, and also the beneficial. So once you have this particular practice as a abhyasa, that means not only that you will be happy, and you will also make other people to be happy. Take care, all the best. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti